Hello, YouTube! Sorry that this video is so late. It has been a very busy week, but this is my recap of Raw, which was pretty good this week. So let's get that started. We started off the show with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman says that at the Royal Rumble, there's no one for Lesnar to face, that he has pretty much beaten everybody. So instead of having a title match at the Rumble, he is going to enter the Rumble at number one. And he guarantees that Lesnar will win the Royal Rumble after entering at number one. So now we know what Lesnar's plans are for the Rumble. But they also announced that we are going to have a six-man tag with Seth Rollins and AOP versus Samoa Joe, KO, and someone of their choosing. They interview Kevin and Joe and ask them who their partner is, and Joe says, I have a guy. And Kevin says, you have a guy? Joe says, don't worry, I have a guy, but refuses to tell anybody, including Kevin Owens, who that guy is. And they do segments all through the night of Kevin asking Joe who the guy is. Joe won't tell him. Then finally, in an interview, Joe brings Kevin to a dark room, opens the door, of course, won't let the cameras in the room. Kevin goes in the room. Joe closes the door. Kevin comes out and says, that'll work. And Joe says, right? And we don't know who the guy is, but now Kevin knows who the guy is and is happy with Joe's choice. So that is the main event for tonight. And we saw Rey Mysterio versus Andrade for the U.S. title. Rey pretty much had the better of Andrade through the first part of the match. He did get a pinfall on Andrade, but during the pin, the 1, 2, 3, Zelina puts Andrade's leg up on the rope. So the ref counts to 3, but when Rey gets up, the ref sees the leg on the rope and tells Rey that no, the match has to restart. So the ref restarts the match, and Andrade ends up pinning Rey after the hammerlock DDT. What happened was Rey inadvertently landed on Zelina, so he was distracted by checking on Zelina, and when he went back in the ring, that's when Andrade hit the DDT on him. After he gets the win, he does take Rey's mask, and him and Zelina leave ringside. The refs do what they usually do with any of the masked wrestlers. They throw a towel over Rey's head, and Rey goes out back. We had a match versus the Viking Raiders. With the Viking Raiders, Street Profits, and the OC for the tag titles. The Viking Raiders did retain their titles after a top rope splash on Anderson. We see Andrade getting interviewed, speaking Spanish, and then all of a sudden Rey comes out in a rage and attacks Andrade. Zelina screaming, and Rey takes his mask back and leaves the area. We see a promo by Becky Lynch. She says that she's questioning if she can beat Asuka at the Rumble. Says that Asuka's the only one she's never beaten. Asuka comes out yelling in Japanese, gets in the ring, pauses, goes to start yelling again, and Becky pretty much punches her in the face and leaves, which really pisses off Asuka. We see Eric Rowan's in the back with Mojo Rawlings, and Mojo Rawlings asks Eric if he can look in the cage just once. Eric says fine, but don't tell anyone. And Mojo looks in the cage and runs off screaming, asking Rowan, what's wrong with you? We never saw her in the cage, of course. Uh, we see Eric go out to the ring. He has a squash match with a local talent, which they don't even bother introducing. After the match, uh, Rowan's, of course, won with a claw and pin. Um, Eric puts the guy's face near the cage. The guy pulls away with a red substance all over him that kind of looked like blood. Don't think it was, but it was that vibrant red color, and runs off screaming. We see, unfortunately, another finish to the Lashley Lana wedding. Um, And after that, when they were finally able to complete the wedding, Rusev is on the Titantron on a beach, and he says that he got them a present, and it's a video package of their wedding from last week. In that circumstance, Lashley challenges Rusev to a match next week. Rusev agrees and says that when he's finished with Lashley, Lana can have whatever is left. We go back to the back ring behind the back of the arena. We have a interview with R-Truth, who is still W's 24/7 champion. During that interview, Liv Morgan interrupts the interview and says that next week Rusev is facing Lashley, and she knows that Lana is going to be in Lashley's corner, so Liv is going to be in Rusev's corner. So that should make that interesting. We see what is supposed to be a match between Charlotte Flair and Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan attacks Charlotte before the bell rings. The match never officially started. It was basically just a fight between the two of them, in and out of the ring, throwing each other into the posts, into the barricades, into the audience. Then Sarah grabs Charlotte's robe and steps on it, throws it on the floor a couple of times, which enrages Charlotte, and Charlotte beats the crap out of Sarah. And the announcers talk about how the robe was a gift from Ric Flair, and that was why Charlotte was so offended. And we have a Drew McIntyre match with No Way Jose. McIntyre comes out, starts attacking the conga line, jumps in the ring, the bell rings. Jose tries to defend the conga line, but of course he's no match for McIntyre. McIntyre goes back after the conga line, goes back into the ring, and Jose once again tries with some offense, but it doesn't work. McIntyre starts the count for the Claymore kick. He does like a countdown with the audience and gives Jose the Claymore kick and then pins him. Uh, so after he gets the pin, he grabs the mic and says, "Who dares me to do another Claymore kick?" The crowd yells. He says, "Who double dares me?" The crowd yells even louder, so he does the count again and then does another Claymore kick on Jose. Takes out the conga line by throwing Jose over the top rope. Uh, says on the mic, and look at that, I didn't even drop the mic. Thank you very much. Then he says how he's never liked the conga line except for the cheeseburger. The cheeseburger seems like a nice guy. And then he announces that he is entering into the Rumble because he's never had a title match and no one wants to face him for a title. We have, after that, a Aleister Black match with Shelton Benjamin, which was a half-decent match. Of course, Aleister Black wins with Black Mass. When he gets the pin, Buddy Murphy comes out and attacks him and throws him around the ring on the outside. Couple of jumping knees, and then he does the whole lift with the foot thing that Black is known for, and has a chair, puts the chair under Black's chin and gives him another jumping knee, and then jumps up on the barricade and sits Indian style like Black does when he's in the ring. And now is time for our main event. So they are now calling Seth Rollins the Monday Night Messiah. Yes, the Monday Night Messiah. So we have AOP come out first with Rollins. Then Kevin Owens comes out. Before Owens comes out, Seth has the mic and talks about how he was chosen by the universe to lead Monday Night Raw into the promised land, and that he is the only one that knows what's best for us, which includes getting rid of people that try to impede the process, such as Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, and whoever is stupid enough to join forces with them. So after that, we have Kevin Owens come out, then Samoa Joe comes out, and then we're all waiting in anticipation for the partner. Who is it? Who is it? Oh my freaking God, it's the Big Show. And he looks awesome. He lost all kinds of weight. If you remember, we last saw him about 2 years ago. He had to have a hip replaced, I think. So he's been out for a long time. But he looks awesome. And in the ring, he makes AOP look like children. Just the size difference between them. He starts the match with Akam, but ends up tagging out quickly to KO. And once Kevin's in the ring, of course, the AOP and Rollins get the upper hand very quickly. Most of the match is KO in the match, being dominated by AOP. They're keeping him from tagging. And they end up knocking Joe off the ring, and that's when Kevin gets to tag Big Show again. Big Show comes in, starts dominating again. AOP come to the other side of the ring where Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens are still on the floor. They throw Samoa Joe into the stairs. Kevin Owens still kind of out. So now we know that they are going to try to single out the Big Show. They climb in the ring with Big Show. He goes to double choke slam them. Uh, Seth Rollins grabs a chair, hits him from behind, and the three of them start stomping on Big Show. Joe climbs in the ring and helps him, and AOP goes out on the floor with Samoa Joe. Rollins is going to try and do a super kick to Big Show, who's just getting up. Kevin Owens grabs his foot, so he can't, and then the Big Show delivers a knockout punch to Rollins. And when Seth Rollins hit Big Show with a chair, that caused a disqualification, of course. So it was Team Owens that won via disqualification. They announced that next week we are going to have this match again, except it is going to be a fist fight. So that was a pretty exciting ending to Raw. Didn't expect to see the Big Show, so that was pretty good that we saw him. And the fact that he looks as good as he does is great. Looks very healthy. Like I said, he lost a lot of weight. So I'm interested to see if he shows how he's feeling in the ring. But so that was a pretty good Raw. Some exciting things happened. I was happy to see Ray with some viciousness to him. The Lashley and Lana thing is still going on, but at least we are changing it up a little bit by adding Liv Morgan. And I think that was pretty much it. They're kind of just making the mystery of what's in the cage a little bit more. So we know it's something freakish because two different people ran away screaming, but we still don't know what it is. I'm sure it's going to be something strange and something kind of stupidish, but you never know. Maybe they'll make it intriguing. I ask again, what do you think is in the cage, peeps? What do you think is in the cage? So that was on Monday Night Raw. I am looking forward to next week's Monday Night Raw to see that match again, to see the Big Show in the ring again. Like I said, I'm kind of glad that he's back, but we will have to see how. I'm assuming that because it was his first time back, that's why he didn't spend too much time in the ring. But we'll have to see how he does next week. Other than that, peeps, hit the like button if you like this video. If you haven't had a chance to watch Monday Night Raw, I suggest you watch it, or at least watch a clip of the main event. It was a very short match, but it was good to see the Big Show. So hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys this weekend with my NXT and SmackDown updates. Thanks for watching, peeps. Peace out.